This is Shauna Moulton with the W5 Evening News. Whoa, breaking news. Lemonade is found to be poisonous. But we don't care. Because we've got a cute little boy.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah.
The reason we're doing this is so we can remember our experience. It's kind of a journal, and also because we're too lazy to write it down.
For now, I'm going to transcribe it.
And also, yeah, and also because Dallin can see his mom and dad, and just see how happy we are that he's here. And we weren't able to do this for the first two kids, or didn't think to do it, but and we had a hard time remembering what happened with both Camille and Neil's birth. So we're doing this so that when number 4 comes along, or decide for number 4, we can remember all the idiosyncrasies of birth and hopefully avoid pitfalls that we encountered on this time around. So, anyway, we're just going to start by
No, where to start?
how about if we start, well, just the, okay, I'm going to start way back. We decided to have Dallin last November, and of course we didn't have a name picked out or anything, but we just decided to have a boy because we wanted to balance out the family dynamics and give Neil a brother or a sister, or
We
Camille's
decided.
sister. Yeah, well, it's kind of just family dynamics.
Yeah, we had
And
a lot
so-
of control over it.
Well, yeah. I
That
mean,
he was a boy.
well, no. Well, we decided to have a kid and give the kids a
Right.
sibling, one of the kids a sibling to play with, and take pressure off each other because they're
Right.
kind of definitely children of Ephraim. And anyway, so we conceived in November, and then during the first trimester, Sean's blood pressure was normal. It was 128 over.
About 76 or
Over
something. In the
76.
70s. It was.
Yeah, in the low 70s.
It was checked every monthly, and some months it was the exact same as the month before, and then the next month it was almost the same, exact same as the month before. So I was pretty consistent in having my blood pressure. My bottom number, the systolic, was in the 70s. Like 74, I have it written down. So, everything was good that way. I had morning sickness with Dallin the first trimester, and so that's why Camille thought it might be a boy, even though she wanted a sister.
And Shauna's testosterone levels were highly elevated during the second trimester.
As soon as another
When
interesting.
Dallin was growing a stem, so Dad benefited.
I thought they grow the stem the first.
I don't know. I don't care.
All I know.
Levels were elevated. Dad was happy.
Yeah, and also during the first trimester, my face cleared up, but I felt yucky. And then as soon as I hit about the 20th week or something like that. No, maybe it was before the 20th week. Anyway, as soon as I hit the end of the first trimester, the end of December, I felt really good.
After Christmas.
And I was over my morning sickness, and it happened just like that almost. And of course, within 2 days, my face totally broke out, and I felt really good, or like Shauna's normal self, and and I had my normal face break out. So definitely hormones.
So you can take your pick. Puke or zits.
Yeah. So anyway, second trimester was uneventful. Everything was good. Oh yeah, we found out that Dallin was going to be a boy.
And Camille was in denial.
Yeah.
We were in talking to the technician, and she saw Dallin's little stem, and Camille goes, but sometimes that can be confused with the umbilical cord. We don't know. It sometimes, but not always. And she was just going off.
And denial.
And Neil just had this big, huge smile on his face because he gets a brother and somebody to root around in the sandbox with and
play cars with.
find kitty.
Should we
kitty
check and
treats.
make sure it's recording?
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gonna push to it.
Okay. Sometimes I think it's unrecorded.
I'll check it during halfway through.
After we
So, anyway, so then everything was cool up through May. Baby didn't move very much. It was just an average movement.
Oh yeah, I had gas pains, but
That's right.
that I never had with any other baby. So
Yeah,
that
pretty
was,
severe.
but I think that was related to either my prenatal vitamins or the fact that I was so busy that I wasn't eating enough on certain occasions, and that is what caused the gas and the bloating and made me feel like my stomach was about to pop, burst out.
And so the thing that provided relief was sitting on your knees with your bum in the air and
taking gas eggs. And
taking
then
gas eggs.
drinking water and pushing some more food through.
And if you didn't eat, that got you too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I think caused it. At first I thought it was prenatal vitamins, but I probably had skipped a meal and was too busy or something.
Yeah.
Because I was had a lot going on with my church calling, and
That caused a
was
lot of
doing a
stress.
school carnival too. And sometimes I think I forgot to take care of myself the way I should.
Yeah. And we're not going to do that during the next pregnancy either. We're going to, when we decide we're going to get pregnant again,
We're going to limit
we're
it.
going to limit everything and just have a happy,
Well, I
joyous
might need to
occasion.
do that anyway if I have high blood pressure anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, constantly, even if I'm not pregnant, which I'll find out this week.
So when did the blood pressure become a problem then?
So anyway, then before the blood pressure became a problem, I was reading some books on natural childbirth because I finally had time, and I wanted to try to have this baby vaginally if it was possible, and I wanted to be prepared and not have an epidural just because of all the cascading effects of interventions and stuff. And so one of the books that I read enlightened me to find out about the hospital and the doctors and their policies, because some hospitals are a lot more supportive for VBACs than others. And so I started asking questions at the hospital I was at, and of course my doctor was out of town. This was June 19th, I think it was an appointment at the end of May.
Oh yeah, but before I forget this little tidbit, sorry.
Oh yeah, the blessing.
Yeah, Shauna received the blessing with her home teacher and myself. And the blessing, I was inspired way back, and it was right at the end of the first trimester.
Yeah.
And Shauna wanted one, and I was feeling like it'd be good to have one since
And I was
the first
so
two
sick.
pregnancies were traumatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and so I just wanted things to go a little bit better. I was a little bit nervous because of both of the other tough pregnancies and deliveries that were tough deliveries. And so, anyway, so Shauna received a blessing, and the part that I remember was that that her body would function as it was designed or created, was the intent of the wording, but I think I used the words as it was designed. And also that she'd be given, because she had kept the word of wisdom, and keeps the word of wisdom, and has kept it with diligence, that her body would function as it was designed. And also, I don't know if in there it was mentioned treasures of knowledge, but I find it kind of interesting though that she was prompted to move and get knowledge and become quite aware of her body and the VBAC situation, so that she could be as knowledgeable or more knowledgeable even in some areas than some of the people that would be helping deliver the baby. And so she could tell them what she wanted instead of just taking their advice at face value, which more and more as we see in the day, maybe the medical technology will improve, but you can't always take medical advice at face value anymore, because sometimes a doctor wants to sell you on something.
Their comfort zone is very narrow.
And their comfort zone is
because of
very narrow.
the liability issue. So.
And we're not sue happy, of course, but except Shauna.
And we don't like to take risks either.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of interesting that she received that blessing with that wording, and it was kind of a stretch because
And it said the baby would be healthy too, way back.
Yeah. And so I was concerned that it was a stretch because I knew that Shauna could be apprehensive and get over worried about things possibly, and that maybe that would cause her just to do what happened with the first two.
And plus, and then as time went by, I remember second guessing, did I really hear that?
Oh, I knew,
Yeah.
I knew that had been said
Yeah.
the whole time, but
I mean,
but
because I
I
wish I
still-
would have written everything down, and that's what I did with the next blessing I got, is I wrote stuff down.
oh yeah, and some of the other wording was that you would look forward to it with anticipation.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
joy.
right. That was the one thing that I remembered. I didn't really remember or think that, about my body being designed. That didn't come to my memory for sure. I mean, I kept thinking, well, did he really say that until the next blessing? And then I remembered that I had been promised that in the first blessing, but I always remember that I should anticipate, the birth with joy.
And she really did, and it was amazing, because even though it was kind of dreadful to her having to possibly go through a third major surgery to deliver this little guy, and then knowing that that might be the end, it's tough looking forward 9 months to elective surgery, I'm sure. And so that was a neat part of that blessing, and she was able to look forward to it and not dread it. I would have dreaded it, but she for the most part, So sorry, where I cut in.
No, that was important because that was one of the main things. And so then so I read those books, and anyway, then those books, about the time that I read those books, I realized that I needed to ask my doctor some questions that I hadn't asked him before. Oh, and I also had been...
Dr. Brown?
Yeah, Dr. Brown, who's an excellent doctor, and I would recommend him still. But anyway, I just got this prompt. Oh yeah, during the pregnancy also, I had been studying the medical history of the other deliveries with Camille and Neil, and what everything meant, and asked Dr. Brown questions, and then that was about all I had time to do. And then at the end of May, I was able to read some books and think of other questions that I wanted to ask Dr. Brown. And but he was on vacation, and I wouldn't be able to ask him these questions until he got back. I kept getting the prompting to go ahead and oh yeah, I know what started it is, well,
Yep.
Is it recording? Anyway, so then the end of May, I had an appointment with Naomi Olson, and I just got these weird vibes during the appointment. Oops. And the vibes were that it might be difficult for me to...
Breathe.
Breathe. I just got the feeling that I might not have the support at that hospital and doctor's office. That was the first time I got the feeling that a VBAC might not be possible. And I couldn't really put my finger on it. I mean, she did have me sign a hospital consent form.
Yeah, they made you sign all those forms.
But that's typical with certain hospitals. UW had me sign a certain form. It wasn't a VBAC, a special form just for VBACs. It was just for, procedures in general. But so anyway, it was just the vibes that I got. And so then as I started reading the books, I realized that some questions that I needed to ask Dr. Brown in the hospital. But he was gone for 3 weeks. And so, okay. So I interviewed the nurses at Valley Medical Center, and I interviewed
And you called
the
me
nurse.
from work. You called me at work, and you were all upset because they weren't cooperative or didn't
Well,
seem
every
to-
time I talked with the nurses and asked them questions, they seemed to be defensive and to really not make fun of, but put down midwives and stuff. And anytime I interviewed a midwife or somebody, they said, well, these are the pros, these are the cons, decide for yourself, and they weren't trying to badmouth anybody. And I ended up feeling really confused as to, which philosophy. And I remember feeling like I could relate to Joseph Smith when he was confused about things, because I'd never felt that confusion before. Because I'm tired. It's like only 11:30. Okay, so
then you started calling around, and you found the UW Medical Center, and you felt good about it. And then you called me, and we set up an appointment, and we both went together. It was about 2 weeks before the due date, about right around July 1st.
Oh, but to back up, okay, yeah, my first appointment, and that before the appointment at UW, I also had an appointment with another doctor, That was a naturopath doctor that I was working with. And the naturopath, my blood pressure was taken there, and it was high for the first time. I had high blood pressure. I thought for sure I'd have high blood pressure when I met with Naomi Olson, because anyway, for various reasons. So, and then I went with Eric to the UW, and we interviewed the midwives and stuff, and I had high blood pressure there too. And so the beginning of my high blood pressure was beginning, and I didn't realize nobody else seemed to think it was that significant of a thing at that point. And then June 19th was my appointment with Dr. Brown, and I had all these questions I wanted to ask him. My high blood pressure was high there too. And after interviewing him, I got the confirmation that Valley Medical Center wasn't the place for me to deliver. And as much as I like Dr. Brown, that I just wasn't, I had to change healthcare providers. So I made the decision for sure to stick with the midwives at UW.
So we went and, yeah. So they took us on a tour, showed us all around the hospital. It took about 2.5 hours. I took the afternoon off from work, and we both seemed pretty confident that that was the way to go.
Yeah, that was before my appointment with Dr. Brown. Yeah,
At the same time I'd run into Craig Larson at work. I've known him for quite some time. And he and his wife are both engineers and felt they got the best care from a naturopathic doctor over in North Seattle. And even though it's a long distance away, I asked him some questions, and I think Sean checked into that. At that point, that kind of helped bridge the gap there, because she was interested in knowing a little bit more about that alternative medicine. So that kind of got us clued in.
Well, they were the ones that referred us to the midwives at UW and some other places, some other doctors too, but the other doctors didn't work out. But we wouldn't have known where to go if it wasn't for the naturopathic doctors. So.
And they tried talking us into doulas and home birthing, this, that, and the other, and we just didn't feel right about it because, number one, the doulas cost money and didn't really offer that much more that we couldn't do ourselves.
And that's true. I'm glad I didn't, because
And the home birth we didn't want because we wanted some specialists in case Sean needed an emergency C-section to keep the baby healthy, and so we just didn't feel right about that. So we basically got stuck with UW because that had the best options. So
UW had a great VBAC program. We just didn't realize at the time that I had preeclampsia and how conservative or how strict they were with their preeclampsia procedures and policies.
So, anyway, so let's hurry up and get this going.
I know, so I'm trying to think. I'm tired. Can't think of
Okay,
it.
so then we went to an appointment. Shauna went to an appointment on a Friday, about a week or so before the delivery due date. They were going down to 1 week appointments.
Oh, yeah,
And she went in and found that her blood pressure was about 140 something over 90.
I'd gained 10 pounds since the week before.
She gained 10 pounds, gained a lot of water. She started to look puffy, and she could make dents in her legs and her arms. So we knew that she was starting to retain water. So the midwife said, well, come in and we'll take some blood on Monday and do a blood test and see what happens. And so Shauna went in, and she didn't seem too concerned about it. Corey didn't. So Shauna went in on Monday and got the results back Monday night, and
They
there was
wanted me to
nothing.
come in Wednesday again. And my next appointment wasn't until the next week, but they wanted to follow up and make sure.
Yeah. And it wasn't critical because she had said, well, we could do Thursday, but well, hey, there's an open spot. What about Wednesday? So it was just kind of this, oh, gee whiz, no real concern. And
Yeah.
so Shauna went in on Wednesday, and I was kind of curious and a little bit concerned. So I decided to drive her too, plus because we were trying to keep her blood pressure
Oh,
down
yeah,
with
that's
bed
right.
rest and also just chilling out. And so I decided to drive her in, and got some time off from work that afternoon and brought a bunch of stuff just in case we ended up staying longer. I can't remember what the deal was.
Yeah, Eric said, bring your bags and stuff, because he said, they might find you dilated to a 5 and have you stay or something. He really wanted the baby to come that day really bad.
Yeah, for some reason. That's funny.
He
And,
wanted to get it over with.
And just
With
have
the
it,
bed
not have a
rest.
C-section. Yeah, the bed
Yeah.
rest was a hassle.
Right.
It was just hard on everybody. But Shannon was doing a real good job of just reading her books.
And I had a lot of support. Eric was supporting me, and the kids had places to go during the day. A lot of the sisters were helping me in the ward.